Yo, what is up, everyone? So the game has officially been out for a month now. I think when this video comes out, it'll be a month and a day. So I'm gonna give my updated opinion about the game, and I'm gonna go kind of hard into DICE here because there's some things they did that I think are just completely unacceptable. So I'm just gonna start off by showing some tweets. So starting off with this tweet, as you can see up top, it says update 1110 is now live on all platforms. If we take a look at 1110, we can see that it says we are deploying update 1110 on Tuesday, October 8th, followed by the season 1 launch. If you look through the 1110 update, you can see a bunch of changes, a bunch of bug fixes. It's a long list that goes on for a long time. And now I'm showing this because this update never came out. It literally never came out. And as you can see with the first tweet, they literally quote tweeted themselves saying that the update is live. And then if you look at the actual patch notes, it literally says it comes out the 28th. So this update was supposed to come out the 28th. And it's a very good update. It does a lot of things that we want to be changed, but yet it never came out. Now I'll show another tweet by Junksy, and he said the bug fixes are not in this update. Might not have been clear from some of the previous comms, but they are coming into a later update during season 1. How does this even happen? How did this update just get rug pulled? On top of that, he said the bug fixes are not in this update. There's more than just bug fixes. Like the whole update just did not come out. There's actual gameplay changes in here that didn't release either. So it's like not just bug fixes that didn't get released. Literally, like borderline nothing got released. And another tweet by Junksy saying there has been minor changes to weapon recoil and dispersion, which is Bloom. This is the only thing that got changed in this update. And I actually like replied to this saying like, wow, we're getting our patch notes through Twitter replies. Like this is crazy because that's literally what's happening. They rug pulled the actual patch and then gave us patch notes through Twitter replies and being super vague saying minor changes to recoil and Bloom. Like we don't even know what got changed. We don't know how much it got changed by. I mean, personally, I don't really feel anything different, at least from the guns that I was using. And it is a minor update. But the original patch notes that's supposed to come out that had really good stuff in it and got rug pulled. That's not there. They lied about that. Drunksy then goes on to say that the bug fixes didn't make it into the game. That's also a lie. There was a lot of gameplay changes that didn't even make it into the game. And now we're getting our patch notes through Twitter replies. Like, it's just lie after lie after lie. And now, if we want to talk about more lies, I'll show another tweet here that Silk made talking about rotational aim assist because they showed or they said that rotational aim assist wasn't going to be in the game. And there's been many videos out there that has showed that it's in the game. So like, that's just another lie. But it turns out that the controller aim assist is actually getting reverted to the beta version, which apparently wasn't nearly as strong. And on top of that, the 25% recoil reduction that controller gets is also getting nerfed, which is really good. I think the recoil reduction is like a big problem right now. I literally just get straight up beamed across map by like someone who's like 13 and 20 and then they're on controller. Like literally every time I just get straight up beamed by someone, it's like always a controller LMG player. LMGs alone need to be nerfed, like kind of getting into the gun changes early. LMGs definitely need to change. I think most people know that. They're way too accurate. But a controller player on an LMG is just scary. They can just beam you like 60 meters away, no problem. Now, the last tweet I wanted to show is just a weird one, but just like with everything that's happened with like the line and just not releasing patch notes and all this stuff, I feel like I should just add this in here because I just want to call DICE out because I think this is completely unacceptable behavior. You know, another tweet right here talking about assist counts as kills, because if you don't know, when you do a certain amount of damage to someone, you get a message that says assist as kill. And going back to Battlefield 4, if you did 75 damage or higher to people, you'd get something that was assist counts as kill, where your assist would count as a kill because you did a lot of damage to them. And this game is called assist as kill, but you don't actually get the kill. It's only an assist. So someone brought it up asking if it's bugged or intentional, and Junksy replied, I don't think they're supposed to count as a kill. I don't think. A developer said, I don't think. He doesn't know if it's bugged or if it's intentional. I just don't understand that. How does that happen? How does a developer not know if it's bugged or not? And even if he didn't know, I feel like he just should talk to his team about that and bring it up instead of just coming on Twitter saying, I don't know. Like, that is crazy for a developer just to say, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with DICE. They need to get their stuff together because, like, all this lying and not releasing patch notes when there's still the bloom bug in the game, which the patch notes was supposed to fix that. So now we still have to deal with the bloom bug. And in the patch notes, the drone bug also wasn't in there, when the drone bug is literally game breaking and is completely ruining some matches. And that's the other thing I want to get into, is that the drone bug hasn't been fixed yet, not even hot fixed. I mean, all you have to do is just disable the sledgehammer. So like somehow that's not hot fixed at all. And the drone bug is literally game breaking. So I have no idea what's going on. We're a month in and the game hasn't been updated at all, other than making it easier to level up and nerfing challenges. Other than that, the game hasn't been touched. We're a month in and there's game breaking bugs and it's not even getting fixed. So I have no idea what's going on with DICE. And now I want to get into the recoil. So if you watch my streams or even like followed me on Twitter, I've complained about the recoil bug a lot. Apparently, it's not a bug and it's intentional. But even then, I think what they intentionally added is bugged. I'll get into that in a second. So the intention of the recoil is that if you go with the recoil, if you're aiming to the right and the recoil is going to the right, your aim feels accelerated. If you're aiming to the left and your recoil is pulling to the right, your aim will feel sluggish. So the recoil literally changes your sensitivity. I don't understand how you could even think of something like this, let alone add it. You're completely reworking how recoil works in every single FPS game possible, basically. You're reinventing the wheel. I don't know why DICE loves to reinvent the wheel, but here they are. So hopefully this just completely gets removed and we go back to how recoil should actually work. And now on their intentional design, I think it's also bugged because sometimes it feels too aggressive. That sometimes that sluggish feeling, if you're going against recoil, isn't just kind of sluggish. It's literally stopping your aim completely. I've had moments where I'm trying to aim and I'm moving my mouse and my reticle in game literally isn't moving. So on top of this intentional design, I'm pretty confident it's just also bugged, where the sluggish feeling, like it's like a sense randomizer. So sometimes it's like a little sluggish, sometimes it's like super sluggish, and then other times it's like you just can't move your reticle at all in game. So like on top of this intentional design that's absolutely terrible and should be removed, it's also just bugged, and sometimes you just can't move your reticle in game even though you're moving your mouse because like the sluggish feeling or whatever basically just takes over. So there's huge problems there, and a lot of people are feeling that, and it needs to just be straight up removed, the entire design, and removing that hopefully will just also remove the bug that's happening. So it's good to know that I don't think that it's actually a problem with the engine, because a lot of people, including myself, think that it might be an engine problem because of all the 2042 problems that literally couldn't be fixed. I thought it was maybe just hard coded into the engine, it was unfixable, but since it seems to be like an intentional design and the intentional design is also bugged, that maybe if they just remove the intentional design or rework it, the bug will also go away, something like that. But regardless of the bug, what they added to recoil just shouldn't be a thing ever, literally ever. Now, I do want to get into some things. I'm going to go over it kind of quickly since I ranted about DICE and how terrible they've kind of been after the launch of the game. So I'm just going to go over some of these points that I have quickly that have been really bothering me. Breakthrough. Honestly, defense is completely unplayable unless if you play Cairo. It is actually probably the worst defense I have ever played in any Battlefield game. And I think a lot has to do with you're pretty much just waiting for the enemies to push you on defense. You can't actually push up to them. There is like no good flank routes you can do. Like some sectors are like okay. Like you might have one sector out of 3 that is actually good, but like at that point, it's not even worth playing. But for the most part on defense, it's just like you're waiting for the enemy just to get close to you. And if you peek, you just get sniped, especially Liberation Peak. Like Liberation Peak defense is absolutely terrible. It's just you waiting the whole time for enemies to get close. Cairo is the only map, in my opinion, that's good on defense And that's because you can actually flank the attackers. There's also like out of bounds flanks that you can do. The map just has so much that you can do as a defender instead of just sitting there and waiting for the attackers that push you. So defense on breakthrough is just absolutely terrible. Next up, the servers. The servers are like really bad. I've noticed many times where like people aren't looking at me, but like shooting me. I also think the peeker's advantage is absolutely terrible, which would make sense. I mean, I think everyone's seen clips of people like running through walls or running in the sky. So like the servers are definitely just having problems, which could also cause like the peeker's advantage to be really bad. And there's also like dying behind walls is pretty bad. Not only is the time to kill like quick, so it's gonna feel like you die quick, but there's definitely times where it's like someone shoots you and like all their bolts reg at the same time. So there's just like a whole bunch of server problems. But I definitely noticed like peeker's advantage. Like people will turn a corner and it's like I insta die, can't even like react. That could also be the time to death, like being desyncy, obviously the time to kill. But I think there's also peeker's advantage. But the overall like syrup performance is pretty bad. Claymores and frag grenades, they need to be changed so they're more visible. Claymores are like basically impossible to see and they're like camouflaged into the ground. And frag grenades, the icon is impossible. You can't see frag grenades. Probably like once or twice a game, I'll just be prone on a frag that someone throws at me and I don't see it and I die. They're impossible. Everyone's experiencing it. They need to like make the frag grenades more visible so you can actually avoid them instead of just sitting prone and you don't even notice they're there and you just randomly blow up. Back to LMGs, I talked about this a little bit earlier. LMGs are just OP. There's like no bloom to them at all. The recoil is not bad. I mean, you have one LMG that has no damage fall off for some odd reason. LMGs are just straight beams. I mean, the DRS is literally a better assault rifle than almost every single assault rifle. The LMGs need to be like tuned down hard. Like definitely like more bloom. I shouldn't be just dying to LMGs 60 meters out. Now the DMR, there's one DMR that two shots. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a DMR that two shots you like at any range and literally like anywhere in your body. Like you can get shot in the leg and into the body and you will die. On top of that, within 5 meters, it one shots you to the head. And if you get the ammo, it'll one shot you within 20 meters. So you have a DMR that can two shot people and one shot someone to the head. Like this is ridiculous. There's no DMR that should just be two shotting people and then like have the potential to one shot someone to the head. Like a DMR. The whole gun play, this needs to be reworked. All the automatic guns need to have their damage lowered. Guns should be like a 5-shot kill. Maybe some guns 4-shot kill if like they have a lower mag size, lower fire rate, something like that. But for the most part, like a 5-shot kill. And then damage fall off needs to be gradual instead of instant, because this instant damage fall off, in my opinion, making the gunplay worse, because you can hit someone that's like 20 meters away for an example of 25 damage. As soon as they go 21 meters away, it's 20 damage. To have a 1 meter difference, adding a 1 extra bolt to kill, it's not how damage fall off works. It should not be like that. So on top of making the guns more bolts to kill people, preferably 5, like Battlefield 4, which had the best gunplay in the series, you can then up the headshot percentage. I would say 1.9 at the lowest and 2.1 at the highest. Battlefield 4 at 2.1. I personally think they should just copy Battlefield 4, literally copy and paste the gunplay, because that was the best gunplay in the series. The gunplay needs a big change. I mean, no gun should be 3-shotting people. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you have guns over 800 fire rate 3-shotting people. One other thing I want to talk about is the ladders. Now, in my beta video, I said I think the ladders are going to be a problem, and yeah, they're kind of a problem. I mean, you're getting on some like rooftops that you really shouldn't just be allowed to get on. I think they just need to add some out of bounds zones to some of these rooftops. I know they're getting up there legit with ladders, but it's low key kind of ruining the map. So I think some rooftops actually need an out of bounds zone, and so they don't let people get on every rooftop with ladders. But my overall thoughts to sum everything up with the game is that I don't think the game is that far off from being like pretty decent. Like in the current state, I won't lie, it's kind of terrible to play. It's unbearable at times. Literally, if they just changed the TTK, added the movement buffs that were supposed to be in the patch note, the game could literally be 10 times better. just like the TTK alone, I think would just drastically improve the game. I mean, if someone's just camping in the corner and they can just three shot you, you have no time to react. You have no time to like make the miss, no time to like get behind cover. You're just insta dead. So like increasing the TTK alone would help the game so much. You could literally turn fights around if someone catches you off, especially if they increase headshot damage. You can literally just hit a nice shot and like triple headshot them. So I think the TTK alone would just like drastically improve the game and stop some person that's corner camping just insta killing you and actually allow you to like turn the fight around and kill them. And on top of people corner camping, the visibility is absolutely terrible. It needs to be worked on, but that was also in the patch notes that was supposed to improve visibility. So it's like really this patch note that they just rug pulled just needs to come out. I don't know if it's gonna like fix everything when it comes to movement and visibility, but like at least it's gonna improve it and they can improve upon that. But it got rug pulled, and now like we have no idea like when this update's gonna come out. Like, we're literally a month into the game and we've had no update other than like XP changes and challenge play changes. Basically no gameplay changes at all to improve the game. I do think the game's like right there from like actually being like a pretty good game, but like at the moment it's pretty unbearable to play. I can't lie. I gave the game like a 5.5 rating. My first impressions, I want to say it's like probably the same. I'd probably still give it like a 5.5. I'd actually probably go back and give my first impressions video like a 6, maybe like a 6.5, and like now I would say it's like a 5.5. I think I like underrated it in my first impressions video, or maybe now I might lower it to a 5. Just like a game's like around the 5, like a 5.5. Like that's what I would say the game is right now. Make the movement a little bit better. They changed the TTK. Those two things alone could literally make the game 10 times better. So I do think the game's like right there from being like a pretty decent game, but they just need to make the changes and not rug pull an update that's supposed to make the game a lot better. So that's like my thoughts right now. I hope DICE will add this patch notes soon so the game can actually improve and bug fixes like Bloom can actually be fixed so guns shoot properly. And I will say, if you're thinking about getting the game, just get it through EA Play. And then if you still like it after that, then you can buy the game. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe. Peace.